Hey there. Hey, camper. Looking for my Monday market data. There we go. Something is missing. It says that Gons was in, like, this is the right link, yeah?
When
There.
I clicked the link that you sent out in the email, it took me, it said, this link is taking you here.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There he is, Mr. Gons. Alrighty. Sorry, my 10:30 to 11 lasted long, so it took me a hot minute. Hi, Mike. Are you back?
No,
I thought you said you were coming back Monday or Sunday night.
following one now been kicked back a couple more days.
Ah.
Yeah.
okey-dokey.
Yep.
Well, here we are. We've got some interesting numbers this week, as they are every week. And I changed these percentages. I've got to find time to add the percentages down at the bottom so that we can just have some more clear looks at what that's looking like. But we have a substantial increase. Let me do this real quick. Format. Wait, insert. No. Review. That's what I want. One row. We've got an uptick, pretty interesting little uptick here in total active listings. It explains a lot when you see this dip here from total new pending is down 30. Again, it was down 35 there. So we're definitely seeing how these respond to one another. We do have a little uptick in total new listings. But as we're seeing here, these closings are going down, which is interesting too. This was way low. So I don't know. Some of these numbers are perplexing to me this week, but overall, we're seeing an increase in total active listings, an increase in total new listings, but then pendings and closings are down. So that's definitely telling us that we're seeing an inventory shift. We're seeing stuff sit there. I wonder if average days on market isn't just the fact that agents are adjusting their pricing. I think we see a super, low number here of price reductions. So I think agents have adjusted their initial pricing strategies with new listings. And so they're selling quicker. At least that's what it says to me. I don't know about you guys, but this one is really interesting to me today. We're seeing a pretty interesting dip there in the average price here in Allegheny County. But does anybody have any questions or observations about these first few numbers? I think it's really interesting. No? Okay.
Well, give me a second, but what's interesting, these numbers are topsy-turvy suddenly.
Yeah.
Because they were making sense, now they're not making any sense. Days on market, what happened? I understood the 40, now down to 32. That's great.
That's what I'm saying is, so when you look at total new listings coming in and total pendings down and total closings down, it's telling me that we've got inventory that's sitting out there. People aren't reducing. I've got 2 listings in that same category in this last week. They haven't reduced, but then you've got new listings, right, hitting the market that are priced better than what was being priced in August, because in July and August, we were still thinking, oh, it's the same market, blah, blah, blah. I feel like agents are educating their sellers a lot better on how to price. And to me, it's telling me this, like they're coming in better. It's a more realistic listing price on average, and they're selling quicker. So, anything that would have closed in the last week in 32 days would have been listed at the beginning of September, right? Or the second week of September. So that's what we're seeing here. The September listings were priced better.
And then on average, you expect what, by beginning November that the sales start to listings start to slow down because people go in the holidays, they get into the, I don't know if I want to move during the holidays attitude. I mean, it means we've got another month.
I don't know. We're definitely down. It's like, from here, we were low in September, like, look, even fewer listings. So these few listings that were listed in early September are the ones that were selling in 30 days. You know what I mean? So there were fewer, but the ones that hit the market were priced better. I don't know, Mike. I mean, I just feel like what we are definitely clearly seeing is an increase in inventory. What we're also seeing, what the numbers are sharing, is that sellers are being educated better on how to price from the jump. And we're clear about that too. Like, either some people are like mine, they're willing not to reduce right now because they feel like, oh, it's normally slow this time. But that's where, I just need to sit down and get real with the data. But I did have an uptick in showings, specifically like on my single family one in Lawrenceville. We had like 4 showings last week, which was really rare. We've only been seeing like 1 a week, which is just so weird.
Okay.
Sales price to list price ratio, it's not too much different than what was, up above it, but we definitely are seeing, I'm hoping that this number continues to go up. And that means to me that we're pricing things better, right? We're not seeing price reductions. So hopefully this number will go up. It just means that agents are doing a better job at pricing from the get-go. We saw a tremendous reduction in number of expireds.
Is that seasonal, you think? I mean, is that?
I don't know. Like, typically you're looking at an expired being a 1-year listing. Although, God, like, who's sitting on a 1-year listing? I might be in June sitting on a 1-year listing, but if I look at that number, I think about what was listed last year. Or, there's no way of knowing how many of the listings that were on there were short-term listings, right? So I think it's just an interesting number to watch as we head into, but look at this one. This is the first
I love it.
dip that we're seeing here. And
I
this,
love it.
remember from the beginning, because I'd been at Franchise Systems Orientation in July, and Mark King said, we're going to see an uptick for the next few months in agents, but it's going to start going down because the agents that were coming in, they were finishing their classes in a hot market and thinking, woo, I'm going to be an agent. I'm going to sell lots of houses. There's lots of business out there. And now we're probably seeing the repercussions of people, starting their licensing somewhere in July, August, or whatever. This is also an interesting number because, both of you guys have made it through my coaching. So I feel pretty confident that y'all know me pretty well.
Yeah.
People that are not willing to do the lead gen are no longer going to be in this business.
Yeah.
It's the same thing I'm feeling right now as team leader is, if we're not growing, if you guys aren't in production, people are going to have to get second jobs or people are going to have to keep their other jobs. We have to get, what's that?
Hang on, loud noises.
We have to get seriously real about how we're prospecting, because everybody in this business knows that we're shifting, but there are just going to be people that expect it to still be lucrative, and it's not. But look here, this is where the opportunity is. Listings are up. So people are out there still doing the work, still getting those listings. We just need to dig in heading into the holidays, not take our foot off the gas. We really, really need to be leaning into the tried and true methods of lead generation. We absolutely need to stick with the basics. That's painful for me. Y'all know that because I'm not a cold caller, but we need to be prospecting based, marketing enhanced. That's what I keep hearing. Go back to the basics. Allie and I are doing some, geo farming here at the end of this month. We're, going into some areas that, typically we wouldn't have been doing because we would have been too busy to build that business. But just something to consider as we head into this week and head into the holidays, is to not take your foot off the gas. Get in touch with the people that write another golden letter, stay in touch with people, be consistent with your social media, even if it's just like, hey, the market is shifting, who do you know that needs to buy, sell, or invest? This is a great time to be connecting to investors. Bleh. They just run you ragged, but I think we're entering into a season of really interesting investments. I would love for it to be a season of me getting my first investment property. So I've been saying that for a year. But anywho, any other questions? I think I just love seeing the data and trying to hypothesize on what it could be telling us.
I'm excited to see 2 weeks in a row, interest rates holding at 7. I know they're going to go up. They got to go up. But if anybody saw Dustin's comment, about you can pay a mortgage, you can pay rent, mortgage 7% or, rent.
Dustin needs a Snickers. That's his problem.
I know. He always has.
I will say this. I was in my first call last week, or the first time I've heard this in a while, that they're estimating that interest rates will go down a smidge as we're entering into the holidays, and whatever, just to kind of boost the economy. So it'll be really interesting. Like Pittsburgh typically stays pretty even. But one thing I thought about doing is like, one of the team leaders in the team leader Facebook group said that they actually have a economist, like somebody that crunches this numbers with them and, does a little quick 10-minute presentation. I would be curious, like, I'm not an economist. Like, what would these numbers say to someone who's an economist? I think it'll be fun to have like a conversation around that.
Yes.
With someone. Be interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No question. I think they're going to bring a different point of view.
Yeah. So just as a heads up, don't forget, we've got the mastermind in Wexford on the 26th. Just as an update, on Friday, we changed the moving date. The new building passed inspection, passed occupancy last week. And we have a set move date is now October 27th.
That's my birthday.
Oh my gosh. Congrats.
Congrats for birthday.
I will not ask you to come in and help on your birthday. But no, so we the media company could not help on the 20th. So we were gonna have to do it in all these phases. And that was what kind of, threw us in a tizzy moving into the temp space. So we will have both the movers and the tech company and all the utilities and hopefully our final approval with the state. We're still waiting on a scheduled date for them to come and inspect the building to give us the check mark, but that gave us an extra week to make sure that that's happening. So my goal, fingers crossed, is that all of those things are in alignment so that the 27th, we're just free and clear. When we move in, you guys can start doing closings and we can actually have business in there. I was starting to get worried that the state wouldn't get back with us in time. And we would have the same situation where we're there, but you can't have closings there yet. So wanted it to be, the whole package. So October 27th. So please, if you can, register for the mastermind. We'd really I've been working really hard with the North office to just try to increase some value that we're bringing as a region. So would love to see you guys registered. It's free. There's going to be a seller panel, a buyer panel, and a lead gen panel. It's 10 to 2 and it includes lunch.
Are you guys going to put out like who the panelists are?
Soon, but we've been still submitting our panelists to the leadership group to decide who's going to be on what panel. So it's going to be 3 to 4 agents on each panel. I know that Jordana is doing one for lead gen simply because she's got that killer little group that she's got online on Facebook. But there are others. And then I believe Cindy and Karen and I are each facilitating one of the panels. So we're going to split up and just kind of make sure that we're introducing ourselves to one another. But yeah, I think probably the week or two before we will say who the panelists are.
Okay.
Coolio. But yeah, please, even if you don't think, like, if you don't know, just go ahead and register. All it's doing is it's giving us an idea of who might be there.
Okay.
Coolio.
Link is on our calendar, right?
Yeah, it should be.
Okay, I'm gonna go look.
Not,
go
I'll
look.
double check.
No problem.
All
Okay,
right,
super.
everybody. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Do you have 5 minutes to talk about 1401 Arch Street, or you
I
need to get on
do.
your
Let
next?
me stop recording.